Autumn is approaching, and that can only mean one thing. It's football season, and it's time to play fantasy football.
For the kids, for the kids.
Oh, Elmo, you're still the closest to a Molly Cooper.
Lucky for you, you are right where you need to be. So sit back, relax, and turn up the volume on your streaming device. Johnny Ballgame, Sir Poops-a-Lot, and the Fantasy Reaper are about to deliver humor and fantasy gold at the same time. Crush your opponent with a smile. It's Fantasy Sports Island.
Welcome to Fantasy Sports Island. Welcome back to the island where we mix comedy with fantasy football and bring you wisdom from Johnny Ballgame.
What's up, everybody? Johnny Ballgame here. Let's do this.
Welcome back, Johnny. Thank you for joining the show tonight. How you feeling?
Oh, man, I'm feeling good. We're going to do a little mock draft. I start to smell the season. You know what I mean? Smell it.
I smell it too, but I think it's coming from Tony Sir Poops-a-Lot.
It is. It's coming from me for sure. I'm smelling the season too, baby.
Who doesn't like a mock draft, folks? If you like mock drafts, you're going to want to hit that like button on the video so we can get this out to more people. The YouTube algorithm likes it when you hit that like button, right? Hit that like button, smash it up. Don't forget to subscribe because we're back weekly. Every Saturday morning, we're going to have a show for you. So be ready for that. Make sure you hit that notification bell. All right, guys, let's go on to the show. Tonight's a good show. We got the mock draft coming in a little bit, but we're also going to talk about some value picks in the draft. We call it the value pack. We're going to give you a couple of guys that we feel are undervalued in this year's draft according to ADP, and a couple guys that we feel are overvalued and you want to stay away at their current ADP. We're going to get to that in just a minute. Let's start off, as always, with the little news and notes around the league, and we'll start with Terry McLaurin and the Commandos. Johnny, the Commandos.
Commando.
They reached a 3-year, $71 million extension, including the highest ever signing bonus paid to a wide receiver of $28 million. So, Scary Terry got paid, John. What do you think? Is this an overpay?
A little bit. I like him. I like him a lot, and I'm an Ohio State guy, obviously, so I'm always going to root for my boys. I feel like this maybe they got a little desperate. I don't think they got some of the names they wanted to get in the offseason. And to me, it's like, oh, well, we can't lose our one star that we have, so let's just go ahead and give him a boatload of money. And what was really great for Terry is it's only a 3-year contract. This is, if he continues to go on the incline that he's going on, he's going to get another giant payday in 3 years. And it's now, granted, that might not happen, but it could, and he's got the talent to do it.
Okay, and then, going off of this, piggybacking on this, once McLaurin got his deal, now rumors starting to swirl in San Francisco that Deebo is about to get an extension. And in Seattle, also DK Metcalf sounds like he's about to get an extension. So I want to go to you, Tony. If Deebo gets the extension and they lock him up for 3-4 years, does that make his value higher to you in the draft? And the reason why it would for me is because I feel like San Francisco would continue to use him in the running game because they have him locked up and there's no fear of him leaving. What do you think, Tony?
Exactly. That's what I feel. Now they give him the money. He was talking about not running as much as the team was. They're going to throw it to him. He's going to be getting the ball behind the QB, in front of the QB, side of the QB. He becomes like 75% of that offense. If they pay him, they're going to play him. That's what I think.
I agree. I mean, that ups his value quite a bit. If they're going to use Deebo like they always have, then right now his ADP is too low, but we'll get to that a little bit later. Let's move on.
Okay, but can I play devil's advocate to that?
Sure.
So one place where they really used him running was right around the goal line, but now they're going to have a quarterback who's a running quarterback.
Yes.
So does that start to take some of that away a little bit? That's mine wasn't so much that they hadn't had him locked up. I am really worried about the quarterback that he's playing with. I don't know that he's going to be able to throw him the ball as much, and I think he'll run more, and it's going to take some of those runs away from our boy Deebo.
It's the Lamar Jackson syndrome. Like when Lamar Jackson has MVP year, most of the running backs kind of got screwed because they weren't getting them touchdowns by the goal line. That could happen with Trey Lance for sure. We just don't know that yet because we haven't seen him play much. So, but Debo is so explosive. He breaks off those long runs too, long catches. I mean, you're still going to get your points. I agree though. I don't think he's going to finish third overall like he did last season, but he's still going to be probably top 10.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. AJ Dillon's role is to expand, according to Zach Cruz, a beat writer for the Packers. He's saying that they want to get AJ Dillon more touches this year. And when I first read that, I was like, "Oh crap! What does that mean for the other incumbent running back there?" Right?
Yeah, I agree. I kind of think that I think they're going to be dumping some passes to Jones, but I like Dillon. Man, this is a toss-up. Yeah, I think you're right. I think they're going to give it to both those guys. What are their major options there? What do they got? I think they're going to try and switch it up a little bit, and they are going to run it a little bit more. And I think those two guys are going to be incredibly active. But I also feel in my gut that Dillon's not going to be as good. I think Jones felt it last year. It makes him a little bit nervous, and he's going to step it up. He's going to kick some ass. They're not going to need to get it to Dillon as much. That's just how I feel. A little bit of a gut feeling.
I feel like there's a world where both could exist, where Dillon gets more carries and probably goal line work and get some touchdowns. But I feel like Aaron Rodgers can still lean on Jones in the passing game and dump him off a lot of balls for short touchdowns as well. I think it could be beneficial to both, to be honest. I'm not really worried about this news concerning Jones. John, I know you are. Go ahead.
I didn't like Aaron Jones before this story came out. Aaron Jones let everybody down last year. Dillon did a good job, and Dillon did what I was afraid he was going to do last year, which was steal carries away from Jones. So why do we think that's going to get better this year? I don't like that at all. I think they're absolutely right. They're going to get Dillon the ball more. He doesn't get injured as much. He's stronger. But now, granted, you're going to get Aaron Jones some passing on the outside, and they don't have many good receivers, so maybe he makes up for it there. I just don't like him. I don't like him at all.
Plus, Dillon's got thunder thighs, John.
He does.
Damn.
Free trunks.
And you know what, Jones, we all feel the finger in our butthole from last year when we drafted Jones in the first round in that FPPC championship draft.
Mm-hmm.
He screwed us. He did, and it hurt. And I'm still repairing my hole from that. So yeah, we don't like Jones this year. That's okay. I understand why. All right, let's go to The Athletic. Ben Standig reports that the Washington Commandos rookie running back Brian Robinson could be the answer for Washington in goal line and short yardage situations. That is not good if you're a Gibson fan. John, we're going to talk about this later because this is one of the guys that you were going to bring up. So we're just going to kind of skim over the story real quick. That's bad news for Gibson. Also, it kind of props up the value for this rookie, Robinson, who's basically no one's drafting at all. You could probably get him in the later rounds, and he could end up like paying off pretty handsomely in fantasy football. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. Go ahead.
Here's what I will say. So this only proves a point that I'm going to make later. But here's what I will say. Do you believe the coaching staff at all in Washington? Because last year at this time, Gibson was going to be the next Christian McCaffrey, according to the coaching staff. So do you really care what they're saying about this new rookie running back that nobody's really ever heard of? I don't.
This is the beat writer saying it rather than the coaching staff. So I don't know if that makes it more believable.
Nope.
But they did draft this guy for a reason, and I have heard rumblings that Gibson has left a lot of plays on the field. So,
Sure
all right. And the last bit of news, of course, it wouldn't be news without Deshaun Watson. The NFL is saying, as they're going through this situation now where there's a judge that's going to rule on how long she thinks Deshaun Watson should get, and the NFL can choose to accept that or not. The NFL is saying if they get a 6 to 8 week suspension ruled in the court, they're not going to accept that. They're pushing for a full season or more.
Wow.
I'm really starting to believe that he's going to get more than one season. Tony, your take?
Yeah, I also think that there's some stuff there that we may not know about. It's kind of like I'm going to bring up Trevor Bauer. It's that kind of thing. You know, Bauer has only had 1 or 2 accusations against him, but it was a little bit worse, and they keep him out of baseball. It's a different sport. But I think what Deshaun Watson has done is a little worse than we know about it, the public, the fans, so on and so forth. And the NFL was trying to make a serious example of this guy, and they must have reasons for it. So to want to keep him out another season or longer or whatever you're stating, that's kind of scary. He's going to get 8 weeks, period, the way I feel. And if they're asking for more, he's a bad dude. I think he's a bad guy.
Yeah, and then there's also been word that Alvin Kamara is going to get a minimum of 6 weeks. So we have that to look forward to as well. Some bad things going on in the NFL, man. These are some key players in fantasy football. We're going to have to adjust accordingly.
Yeah. You're saying you shouldn't kill people, though, right? Because that's
Kamara's
6 weeks. What happened with that again? Was that
Kamara beat the crap out of some guy?
Somebody. That's right. It wasn't killing someone. So, all right.
I mean, he could have killed him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was bad.
All right, let's move on.
Value pack.
Let's do the value pack. So tonight, before we do our mock draft, we're going to discuss a couple guys that we feel are overrated in the ADP world. And then we're going to talk about a couple guys that we feel are underrated in the ADP world. So this will give you kind of a clue as to how we're going to draft in a little bit. So this will be a little fun exercise. And we're going to do it fantasy football, like draft style. We're going to start with John. We're going to go down to me. I'm going to make 2 picks. We're going to come back to John. He's going to make 2 picks until we finish. So we have 2 guys each, undervalued and overvalued. We're starting with John. John, we want to start with the undervalued player. Give me someone that's undervalued in ADP, and you should look to draft at his current position.
All right. This first guy, I'm a little shocked when I looked at the ADP. Not that he was going off as one of the, I think he was in the top 30 or something like that, but he was the 5th quarterback picked. 5th. That means there's 4 other quarterbacks that they think are going to be better him. Joe Burrow. What are we doing right now? If he's not 1 or 2, I get going with Josh Allen. I get it. Who are you picking over Joe Burrow with Joe Burrow's weapons and Joe Burrow's talent? Who's picking other people over him? I hope you all do. I hope the league goes, yep, we think Joe Burrow's the 5th best quarterback, and I hope to God I'm number 5 because I will pick that guy every minute of the day.
Absolutely.
There's only one guy I can think of that might be ahead of him, and that's Herbert.
Oh,
I mean, Herbert outscored him last year just by a little bit, and Herbert's also an ascending player in his 3rd year, so maybe Herbert.
Burrow was coming off of a massive knee surgery in his 2nd year and did what he did.
Exactly.
Oh, just okay. I'm gonna bring it.
We get it, John. You love Joe Burrow.
I'll need some JP this year.
All right, Tony, give me an undervalued player in ADP.
An undervalued player? Well, since the topic is already out, I'm sorry and I disagree, but I'm going with Aaron Jones. Some of this might be gut, okay, but we know the situation in Green Bay. My argument, okay, is the passes, like we were saying, and I think he has something to prove. I mean, last year he was going what? 6, 7, 8, somewhere around there?
Yep.
Incredible. And now he had one bad season. He did have a bad season. But I think he's going to surprise us, man. I think he's healthier. He's excited. I've been listening to him on social media. Like I said, it might be a little bit of a gut. He's going to get the ball, and he's going to kick some ass. I don't like where he's positioned. I think he's undervalued.
Yeah, he's coming off the board running back 14 right now, which is like 25th overall, which means you could get him late 2nd, early 3rd. For Aaron Jones, that's crazy. He's a 1st-round pick year after year, and now you're getting quite a value on him. I think John's going to take the opposite opinion on this.
I almost put him in my overdraft. Overvalued.
That's why we're here, man.
That's why we're here. Oh God, I have zero gut feeling on this guy. I just don't. I hope you're right. Actually, I think the league's a better league when Aaron Jones does well, but I don't believe in him.
All right, I'm going to start with my undervalued player. And this is a guy that we undervalue every single year, and we're doing it again. And that's wide receiver Brandon Cooks in Houston. We've talked about this a little bit. He's wide receiver 26 in ADP, 26, and he's overall 67. So you're talking about a 6th-round pick for a guy that finished as the wide receiver 19 in 2020 and the wide receiver 15 in 2021 on a per-game basis. He's a top 15 to 20 wide receiver each and every year, with or without Deshaun Watson. And now you can get him as like a wide receiver 3. It's crazy to me. I mean, he's being drafted over guys like Amari Cooper, Cortland Sutton, Michael Pittman, Terry McLaurin, DK Metcalf, DJ Moore, and CeeDee Lamb, all who finished behind him last year. That's crazy to me. I think we're undervaluing Brandon Cooks. You guys agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, let's do another one. Let's go and flip it now. Let's find an overvalued guy at his ADP who I'm not going to touch. And I mean, to me, it's obvious. It's Alvin Kamara, running back. Alvin Kamara is running back 11, coming off overall at 19, which means he's a 2nd-round pick for a guy that is almost guaranteed to miss 6 weeks of the season. And he could get 8 weeks. So you're going to pay a 2nd-round price for a guy that will miss possibly more than half of your fantasy season. If you're playing a season that ends in week 13 or 14, and he's going to miss 7-8 weeks, are you kidding me? You're going to pay a 2nd-round price for that? There's no way he returns value no matter how good he is. And he's been good. Last year, he was great on a per-game basis. He was like 3rd. But he's got to be there to play. And he's going to get suspended, folks. And there's precedent for the things that he did. He's going to get at least 6 weeks. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I hadn't heard the 6 weeks thing until you just said that today. So I haven't been on line much today. I'm with you. I would have put him on that list if I would have known that.
All right. Well, we're going to come back to Tony now, and we're going to talk about an overvalued player. Who you got?
Going with another running back. And you guys are going to disagree too, and I love it. I hope you do. And hear me out. Don't boo me right away. I'm going McCaffrey.
Boo!
You're a dick. Now, okay, let me just ask you guys. You're talking 2 years of injuries. Okay, well, at one time, one of the most highest scoring, most dynamic football players and fantasy football players. But 2 years of a tremendous amount of injuries, to me, feels like a warning sign. It doesn't mean that he's not going to have a hell of a season. But how can you take him that quickly in a draft? Don't you think, and these writers that are all like up his rear and giving him, where is he on my list? This is my top like 100. He's like number 3. Don't you think that's irresponsible? Risky as if you want to draft that guy that soon, coming off of 2 years of barely playing and serious injuries, aren't those injuries kind of a warning sign to his future health? I mean, somebody knows something we don't. I'm not watching him run the ball. I just think it's irresponsible and too risky.
It is very risky. He's coming off 3rd overall. He's the 3rd running back taken off the board. And there are guys with a better injury history right behind him. But nobody can say that they score more points per game when they play than Christian McCaffrey.
True.
I'm a risk taker, baby. I'll take Christian McCaffrey at 3. I will do it. So I disagree with you on this, but I get where you're coming from. I mean, the injury history scares me. It does. But pretty much every guy on the top 10 running backs has all gone through injury problems except for Jonathan Taylor, and he's still young. His is coming. Who's to say Jonathan Taylor doesn't tear an ACL this year? I mean, it's a risk.
It's all a risk.
It's all a risk.
Yeah, and the one thing I will say, Tony, is the injuries that he had, while they were serious enough to keep him out, they weren't like – there's no doctors going, oh, I don't think that knee's ever going to recover, right? It was like a hamstring and a thigh or an ankle or something like that. So I understand exactly what you are saying. I literally vacillated back and forth between would I take him there at 3, and I think I would take Christian McCaffrey at 3.
All right, John, we're coming to you for 2. We'll start with an overvalued player. Go for it.
My overvalued player is on this ADP ranked 1 above Christian McCaffrey, and that's Austin Eckler. At what point do we think Austin Eckler is the second most valuable running back in this league? I don't see it. He had 1 year where he stayed relatively healthy, and even that year, this last year, he didn't stay healthy for the entire year, I don't think. But either way, I think they're just going to keep passing more and more there. Justin Herbert's getting better. Still got great receivers. I know he could do one-arm pull-ups, and he's jacked, and he's awesome, and all of that. I do not believe Austin Eckler will return you second overall pick value when the season's over at the end of the year.
Just a quick addition to that. Austin Eckler's never finished second or higher in fantasy football as a running back.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I don't think
it's he's a year older. So.
And he's a year older. Yeah, exactly. And they drafted another rookie, Isaiah Spiller, to come in there and possibly steal some of that goal line work. So again, I questioned him last year and I was wrong. He had a great year, but he did not finish second overall. That is a steep price to pay for Austin Eckler. I agree with you.
Let me
All right, John.
Interject real quick.
Yeah.
If you guys look, besides Jonathan Taylor, if you look at the top 15 running backs, there is something questionable about every single one.
Totally. 100%.
I don't have that faith. They're still they're studs, but I mean, Dalvin Cook could, that kind of Austin Eckler, all of them are like, I don't know. I don't know if they deserve that position. They all make me a little nervous, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. King Henry, gotta be nervous.
Yeah.
That is why I'm an ageist and I like to go with the young studs like Javonte Williams.
You are an ageist. That is true.
They usually stay healthier as a general rule when they're younger. That's all I'm saying.
Dude. You sound a little creepy.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, John, give me an undervalued player.
Undervalued guy. All right. You guys might not agree with this, but I feel like this move for this guy, and he's an injury guy too. So I listen, I get it. But when this guy plays, I feel like he's electric. And I think this move to the Patriots is going to be a good thing. I think Devontae Parker coming off as receiver 62 is a giant deal for somebody. I think somebody is going to get a steal at receiver 62. I get who's the guy that you just said, the one that we always undervalue?
Brandon Cooks.
Cooks. I get Cooks vibes. When Cooks went to the Patriots, I get Cooks vibes this year from Devontae Parker. I'm almost a Johnny Ballgame level gut feeling about Devontae Parker this year in New England.
And let's face it, at 155, you're picking him in like the 14th round. Like it's not even like there's no risk.
There's zero risk at that point.
Zero.
just wrote it down.
We're in the same league.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Devontae Parker is going to have a really good year. Patriots are going to revive, and they don't really have receivers in New England. It's not like they've got anybody that's really going to challenge him for the number one receiver position. If that kid stays healthy, maybe not even a kid this year, but I mean, he's still only in, I think, his 5th or 6th year. I think he's going to have a good year, better than his drafted at 62 wide receiver overall.
Good. All right. So you got your 2 out of the way. Let's go back to Tony. Let's do an undervalued player.
Okay, I don't know what list you guys are using. I'm pretty sure I know what you guys are looking at. These are this is the consensus. What is it, 3? What did it say? Yeah, 3 sources. This is the overall.
Sure.
And I'm looking here at a guy who's number 22 on this list. So first I'm going to ask you guys, if you were offered, if you had 3 people to choose from, CeeDee Lamb, Mark Andrews, or Josh Allen, who are you going to pick? Now, scoring is different for leagues. I get Josh Allen is one after Mark Andrews. That is the most insulting thing I've ever seen on the list. I don't know who is putting this together, but it makes me feel like a genius. It really does. And I'm a horrible fantasy football owner. So, yeah, I mean, come on. Josh Allen in this list, he's number 1 in QBs, but he's number 22 overall.
Yeah, which is like late 2nd round. Now,
I don't.
We play in a league where quarterbacks score a little more, so understand that. But still, if you're playing in your standard leagues, that is, if you can get Josh Allen to put together a season like Lamar Jackson had a couple years back, it's a league winner.
Yeah. And I don't think you're going to get as much out of Mark Andrews as you are Josh Allen. What are we doing?
Like your face is all Mark and
Yeah. You know what? That's the best call on this whole segment. Tony just
we should just shut it down.
That's it.
Shut it down.
That's it. It was a mic drop.
Wait, so I don't get to do mine?
You do. Go ahead. We go. I got one more too. So
all right. So I'm doing undervalued. I got a rookie. I got Breece Hall.
God, you
Breece Hall is running back 21, overall 42, which means late third, early fourth round. Hall compares very closely to Saquon Barkley at the combine. He possesses similar speed, explosive numbers. According to Pro Football Focus, 73.8% of Hall's carries at Iowa State came on zone concept runs, which is exactly what the Jets run. They use the zone concept. So he fits. He was a 3-down back in college. He was an excellent pass blocker at Iowa State. Jet beat reporters are already saying that Hall will be the featured back in what is a wide open offense, and you can get him in the late third, early fourth round. Johnny, remember the hype on Clyde Edwards-Helaire when he first came out with the Chiefs, and people were crazy. They were taking him mid-first round, right? You can get a better talent in an arguably similar offense, the way they want to do it, with the zone concept, and you can get him in the late third. And he's more explosive than Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And he's comparable to Jonathan Taylor as far as his body type. You got to be kidding me, right? Sign me up. I'll take him in the second round.
Really?
I will say this has a good feel of a chuck wagon love affair. When you when you get hooked on a player, because you've been talking about this guy, I'm not sure, but I think since his junior year. Like, I feel like you've been talking about him for a while now. And so it's possible that you were enamored slightly more than the rest of the world who's not seen him run a down yet in the NFL. But having said that, if everything you say is true and he does become the featured back over two running backs that they had last year that actually did pretty good in a very crowded backfield, yeah, I think it's a little bit undervalued.
I have some Ben Roethlisberger type love for him.
Got
for sure.
some love for him, yeah. This is a little Chase Claypool level before.
Why'd you bring him up?
That one hurts, doesn't it?
Yeah, that one I swung and missed on that one. All right. Overvalued players. We're coming back for our final round, and I'll start us off. And you knew I was going to do it, John. Wide receiver A.J. Brown. There's something brown in my pants, Tony, and I think it's AJ, because he's coming off the board at wide receiver 9. Overall 26th. That means late second. Top 10 wide receiver. AJ Brown was the wide receiver 10 2 years ago, and he was wide receiver 22 last year. And he's changing teams with the new quarterback. And we know
who's not as good.
If they change teams with a new quarterback, it's usually doesn't fare well for them as far as their fantasy value. And he's going to a quarterback, like John said, that's not as good. He's an inaccurate passer. Okay. Even if they try to open the offense back up again. Okay. So the Eagles last year went run heavy the second half because the quarterback play was bad. But even if they try to do that again and open it up like they did the first half, okay, Brown has competition for the second receiver. Devontae Smith is there. Dallas Goedert is there. When he was in Tennessee, it was the A.J. Brown show. If they were throwing the ball, it was going to be to A.J. Brown. This team has more weapons than that, so they're going to spread out the wealth, okay? Now, his best finish with Tennessee was 10th. And now we have to take him 9th overall. And you know there are guys coming, right? Rookies like London, Garrett Wilson, Burks, Olave, Sky Moore, Dotson. And then there's guys that are up and coming like CeeDee Lamb, Jalen Waddle, Michael Pittman, Amon St. Brown, Elijah Moore. Some of these guys are going to crack that top 10, And that pushes AJ. It makes it tougher for AJ to even crack the top 10. I don't buy it. He's not going to get you value picking him 9th at the wide receiver position this year in the draft. I'm basically 100% certain of that.
I agree.
Tony, what say you?
I don't know. Again, the main argument here, and then you put him on a new team with a quarterback that's not quite there yet. New guy, new system, all that, and you're putting him that high. Nope, I don't buy it. He's not going to do it.
Yeah,
All right.
Tannehill locked onto that guy. He locked onto him, and you're right. He never finished higher than 10. So I'm with you for all of the reasons you said.
All right, Tony, do you got an overvalued player?
Yeah, this one I don't understand. Just because he's with Mahomes is Kelsey. Is he? What do they have? 12th or 13th? It's
12th.
It's a head scratcher. Me, very talented guy. Getting older, getting banged up. Everybody knows he's the main guy as of now. The main guy. So they're going to hone in on him. It's like Mahomes is not going to make it. Mahomes is not as dynamic as he was 2 years ago. And they got some shit figured out on that team. I mean, other teams have them figured out. Kelsey's not going to be a number 11, 12, 13 dude. Like, it's just not going to happen. I don't know. What do they expect? He's going to get all the touchdowns, 100 yards? No. Sorry. I'm frustrated at some of these rankings. I don't buy it.
Kelsey went in the first round last year in most drafts, and if you took Kelsey, you probably didn't do well. He did not return first pick value, and a guy named Mark Andrews passed him up on the tight end chain. Mark Andrews was the number 1 tight end, and now we're still going to pick Kelsey in the first round.
It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. It doesn't make any sense.
So much so that he's now past Josh Allen in the draft.
Yeah,
No.
almost 2 rounds ahead of Josh Allen. How about that?
It's annoying.
Yeah. All right, and John, finish us up with an overvalued player, please.
Okay, we sort of touched on this guy earlier. This guy in the ADP of all of these so-called experts have this guy at number 34 overall. Number 34 overall. Gibson. What are we doing? What are we doing? I don't know where he finished last year. I didn't look up all the statistics, but I know what I saw with my own eyes. I know what I felt when he didn't do crap last year, when I picked him up and he was shit. I know what he did. All right. Do we really need to put him at 17th best running back? I'll take Breece Hall, for example. I'll take a very unproven dude who's never run it down before I take Antonio Gibson. Antonio gives none, you mean? That one was for you guys.
I got a ton of guys that I'd take over Gibson, to be honest. And we already talked about Robinson possibly taking over the goal line work.
Yeah.
I mean, not only is he not going to be Christian McCaffrey anymore because J.D. McKissick is there again,
Right.
but now he's not even going to get the goal line work. So he's getting the 20s, between the 20s, the rushing yards. Fantastic. That's not good enough
for half the season because he can't stay on the field.
Yeah, I mean,
So, all right, we got 8 games out of him to run between the 20s. Woo!
and it would not
So
shock
like
me,
that.
John, if he got replaced by Brian Robinson sometime during the season. If they come out of the gate slow and Gibson's not doing it, they're going to move on
And
because
they'll
he's
throw
had
to
his
McKissick.
chance.
And the good news is he's got really now an unbelievably great quarterback to help. Commandos, what are we doing?
What are we doing? All right. It's that time. No more messing around. You guys are watching the show because you want to watch this mock draft. And we're going to do that right now.
Mhm.
I'm going to take the 1 pick. Tony, what do you got? The 7?
Something like that, 6 or 7, yeah.
Tony's going to be right in the middle at 6 or 7. And John's got the back end at 12. So he's going to get 2 picks.
Yeah, I do.
And we're going to talk about what's going through our mind as we make these picks for the mock draft. So without any more further ado, let's go. Mock draft.
Mock draft, motherfucker.
All right, guys, here we go with the mock draft. We're going to get this baby started. I'm going to take the first pick, and here we go. So I would be an idiot if I didn't take Jonathan Taylor here, I guess, even though I'm tempted to take Christian McCaffrey. I'm just the safer pick is Jonathan Taylor. So let me do that. Here we go. All right.
Oh, geez. In this position, with the safe running backs, I normally like to grab a running back first. But I think I'm going to do what I said earlier in this show, and I shouldn't say I said I was going to do it, but because I love this guy.
Uh-oh.
Allen.
Good Lord. It's tough right here.
Go with just Pete Rose. I don't know.
No, I'm not going to do that for sure. But I am going to go because I got a gut feeling about this guy anyway.
Yeah, I like DeAndre.
I'm going to take
Your boys.
Nice.
feel pretty good about that, actually.
What shall the
Oh, wow. Kamara went in the second round. Don't do that, guys. That's a mistake.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
gosh? I feel something coming on here. Look at that.
Oh, you love him.
All right.
Sticking to my guns, dude.
Yeah, sticking to something.
Sticking to some shit.
I think it's you're sticking to your seat.
John, you know how high I am on this guy. I'm going youth movement. I'm going
You love
Javonte.
him.
And there it is. I predicted this could happen with Jonathan Taylor and coming back and getting Javonte at the end of the second round.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy right now. And then
Dude,
the other
you
guy,
should make. Oh my God, that's a great team right there.
Yeah.
Debo.
Am I going Travis Kelce or
Definitely one of those.
I like this guy and I feel a decent season coming on, so I'm doing it.
I like Cam Akers this year.
I do too.
Who did I tell you I was going to take if he comes back to me in the bottom of the third round?
Burrow.
Goddamn right.
Those are like your three favorite players to draft this year.
Literally, it could not have fallen better. And then I'm going to go. Where's Gibson? Just kidding. All right. This one is going to be a little, because I think people think I could probably wait to get him, but I really want him this year.
All right.
I love Elijah Mitchell this year.
Yeah, this is a tough one. This position, and I know what I need, but I don't want to do it. Ooh.
Dude, you need a receiver.
Ooh, I do not like my picks that are available. I'm gonna grab a wide receiver, and I don't.
Deontay, good pick.
I knew that was
Brees
really
Hall, darn it.
Yeah, I almost took him, by the way, just to mess with you a little bit.
All right, so I'm torn between Russell Wilson and Dak Prescott here.
I would not be torn about that at all. You know exactly who I would take. Young Dakota.
All right.
Dakota
For shits and giggles, I'll take Dak here, even though I probably would take Russell Wilson, to be honest.
What?
Yeah.
Stop it. You stop it right now.
I think Russ is going to have a big year, but I'll do it. I'll do it for fun.
Russ is not going to have a big year.
And this is also my boy here that I'm going to take. You know I love him. Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, I kind of figured you were going to get him. I'll tell you what, that Cooper is not a good pick.
Amari Cooper doesn't have a quarterback, folks.
No. What are we doing? Oh, Kentucky. I got a pick coming up that I think is going to surprise you. I think we're going to get a little reunion. You know, we've been talking about the Devontae Carr reunion. Nobody's been talking about Hollywood and Kyler Murray from Oklahoma. No one talking about that. All right, now let me go over here where I need a little something, something. Ooh, might like this. No, I don't actually. Oh, the tight ends is rough, bruh. You know what? I'm not going to do it. Screw that. I'm going to go get me a Rennie. Talking about that guy. Damn, this is slim pickings, bros. So
Slim pickings fast, right? It went too quick. And you have that auto draft.
I want a Hail Mary.
I'm going a little combo action here.
Shoot.
Royce would be proud, John.
I know, and but then I didn't realize he was still on the board. And
Dalton Schultz got snagged right before me. Come on, what had the combo?
I got my combo.
I can't believe that I just did that. I wanted Amon-Ra St. Brown bad.
That's who I was looking at.
I took Michael Thomas. I didn't even see St. Brown underneath there. I thought he was gone already. Yeah, this mock draft is weird because you can't really see what's going on.
I'm gonna go Darnell Mooney here. I feel like he's gonna have a big year.
Yeah.
I need a running back, and there's like there's 2 starting running backs left. It's basically between Miles Sanders and Cordarrelle Patterson. I don't know if I believe in either one of them.
Sanders, baby.
There's also Devin Singletary. If you want a guy that scores no touchdowns, though, Miles Sanders is your guy. I think there's going to be some regression to the means in a good way for Miles Sanders.
If you want a guy that scores no touchdowns, get on that guy.
I got single carry just to make myself mad.
Sure, why not? All right, everything I keep reading about this guy is he's going to take a giant jump this year. So I'm going Cole Kmet.
Bears, homer pick.
Perhaps.
Have been hearing good things.
Me too. And then, oh, yeah. Yes, you did. Little James Cook. Oh! Single carry my ass. That's exactly what he's going to be because James Cook's going to be playing the entire time.
Oh, man, I want this guy to take one out of Chuck's playbook, but that gives me a ton. Yeah, what the fuck? Let's do it anyway.
Ah,
That gives me 4 bills. That's trouble.
that is trouble.
You better hope the Bills have a season.
He's all in on the Bills.
I know.
All right, I'm needing a little tight end action. I like this guy here. This is a good value.
Dude, you haven't had any tight end action in a long time. Let's just be honest.
You know, there's another guy out here that had a great year last year, and just because Devontae Adams came aboard, like people are just forgetting about him. Hunter Renfrow.
Sure.
Watch this pick. As if I need him.
Did you get another bill?
I got Stafford.
Okay.
I'm going to need some trade material.
I'm looking for someone specific, so please stand by. Do we know, has Allen Robinson been taken?
Good question. He probably has. I'm going to guess he has. Let me look at the board. He's been picked. He was picked in the 5th round.
Okay, well, in that case, let's go with Green Bay is the #1 receiver and take a shot. And then let's go to. Oh, we playing defenses or anything like that?
Yeah, defense, no kicker.
Go ahead and start the defenses rolling. Took a page out of Tony's book and went.
I wanted Bucks.
I wanted to take a Buffalo Bill away from you, lest you draft the entire team.
I'm looking for more Bills, so just give me a minute.
This is tough. This is a tough place to be picking right now, man. Slim pickings. I'm gonna take a shot. I think Tom Brady's gonna like this guy.
Never heard of him.
Yeah. Russell.
And I'm torn between two backup quarterbacks. I got Cousins and Tagliavoa. I like
Are you
Tagliavoa
kidding
this
me?
year.
I'm looking at literally both of those two, you jackwagon.
I'm gonna go Cousins just because I feel like they're gonna open that offense up.
Yeah. I don't blame you. Tony, you know it's you, right?
Yeah. Wow, there's not a lot out there. Well, what did happen? My phone just acted weird.
You took Valdez Scantling.
Okay, whatever. Yeah, that's a good one. I'll take that for sure.
Oof, wow. I mean, who's the running back in Houston? Does anybody even know?
Yeah, it's Marlon Mack.
Nobody cares about. Who's this?
And then they have a rookie. Yeah, they have Damian Pierce. Yeah.
Damian Pierce. Now I'm going to take a shot. I'm going to go youth movement. Return of the Mac.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, Tony took Gabriel Davis away from me, punk.
Yeah, I didn't have Josh Allen. I probably wouldn't have done it.
So Gabriel Davis, what round did he get taken in there? 8th round. That is way too late, guys. Way too late.
Gronkowski's gone. Okay.
Someone thinks he's not going to retire.
Yeah, someone's like, I'm getting that guy.
I'm also going to try a rookie out, I think. And let me look for him. Let me find him here. Oh, I actually, this guy could be a starter. Now, he'll probably get hurt and trip on his dick in week 1, but when he plays, he's good.
Mm-hmm.
Take that Ram D.
Homer.
So Tony gets the homer pick with Hayden Hurst in Cincinnati. Nice.
Yeah. Well played, sir. I'm gonna do. Oh, there he is. Just talked about this guy.
There he is. 14th round or 13th round. Yep. Devontae Parker.
And then I'm taking another shot on a guy.
DJ Chark.
Because I think he's going to revive his career in Detroit. He had some pretty good seasons, though. One bad one in Jacksonville.
He had a good season.
Yeah, he had a couple. Looks like it carried away. DJ Chuck, do.
Let's try this guy. Little Gus Edwards, see what he does.
Getting Gus this late, that's a pretty good value, if you ask me. All right.
I
See
know
what I
who
can
you're going to
do.
get. I know exactly who you're going to get.
You know who I'm going to get?
Yep.
I don't even know who I'm going to get. So how do you know who I'm going to get?
Because you're going to see him like I just saw him, and you're going to go, I should take a shot on that guy.
Is that the guy you thought I was going to take? John Mechie?
No, that wasn't who I thought you were going to
Okay. So let me see what I want here.
Is this the last round?
This is it.
Ooh.
So I like this guy in Vegas because I don't believe in Josh Jacobs. I'm going to go Zamir White.
Is it who? What'd you say?
I thought you were going to go that same
Oh.
route, but different running back.
Well, now you can do it instead.
This is one of my sleepers.
Finish us off, Johnny.
Well, you just talked about this guy, rookie. Probably going to take over this guy's role. Let's see what you got.
There it is. So let's you take a look at the draft board, folks. I'm going to look at our teams here just real quick. I'm liking my running backs. My running back start was really solid. I got Debo, I got Dak, I got Waddle, and Mooney. I would say my first 6 picks are pretty much as good as I can do. Tony, Josh Allen, first round. So you're going to have the best quarterback. Aaron Jones, you hyped him up. You took him. Cam Akers, I really like. I like Cam Akers. I love Deontay in the 4th. That's a good pick. Cortland Sutton could be a monster with Russell Wilson and Dawson Knox. It's a good team. And you stole my boy Gabriel Davis.
Yeah. I like my bench guys. I like my backups better. My depth.
Yeah, you're deep. And John, you got the guys you've been hyping up this whole preseason. You know, Swift, Adams, Burrow. Those are your boys. Elijah Mitchell, I'm surprised you took him, but he was good last year. If he's the running back, he's really good. You got Marquise, Michael Thomas on comeback for Royce, Cole Kmet, and Cook. You know, Dalvin's brother out in Buffalo. He could be explosive. So
and I got
I like
the
what I'm
best
seeing.
defense with the Bills.
Now, you always learn from mock drafts. If you mock draft over and over, you can really nail down your strategy. So having done this one mock draft, what do you think, John? Would you do anything different?
Yeah, so what I'm worried about is my team could either be incredibly explosive or on the injured reserve list for most of the year, right? So Swift, Mitchell, Brown a little bit, Michael Thomas, we don't know, right? I mean, we've got a bunch of people that we're not sure if they can make it through an entire season. Adams has questions. James Cook might end up being great. I kind of like my backups a little bit on I took a flyer on 2 rookie running backs, and then I've got some receivers that could pay off huge real late in the rounds. It could be real value picks with Parker and Chark.
John,
And Lazard might be the number 1 receiver for Rodgers. And
someone's got to be.
Could be.
Yeah.
Tony, would you approach this draft any differently? Did you learn anything?
I think I would have, if I go back, I would probably take one of the better wide receivers over Aaron Jones, because I think Cam Akers would be there on the way back, maybe some other running backs, but I think I would try and grab a wide receiver a little earlier if I had to do it over.
So you would take a wide receiver in 2, and then you could go like Akers and Brees Hall, maybe.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I would not change a thing I did in the first 3 rounds. Absolutely not. Jonathan Taylor, Javonte Williams, that's a dream come true for me. Debo is a top 10 receiver. You're getting him in the third round at the end. That's money. But I don't know if I'd take Dak there. I'd have to think about that. With the available quarterbacks there, I probably could have waited another round.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we learned a little bit tonight. We'll do another mock draft in a couple weeks and really nail down our strategies. But tonight was a good show. We got a lot done. Hope you enjoyed the show. We thank you for watching. Make sure you hit that like button if you like the video so the YouTube algorithm will pick up our videos for more people to see. You're going to want to subscribe, hit that notification bell. I want to thank Johnny Ballgame.
So much fun, Chuck. Thanks, man. This was a fun show.
Thanks for coming on again, John. And Tony Sir Poops a lot. Thank you very much, my man.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And we're going to see you next week, once again, for another edition of Fantasy Sports Island. Destroying your opponents with a smile. We'll see you next week. Aloha.
Tune in next week for another episode of Fantasy Sports Island.